Okay, let's reorder this just so that it's not confusing. And then let's just set these down here for a minute because we're going to want those in a minute, I think. Let's just hear this excerpt. This is Mozart Piano Sonata in D major, third movement, measures 4 through 8. So let's just hear it. Okay, nothing strange, right? Everything sounds just fine. Now notice that uh, we start, and tonic is probably D, F sharp, D, A. We have very strong 1. Okay, the name of the piece is Piano Sonata in D major. It's probably tonic is in D major, right? And everything goes along just fine, and we get a little cadence. But did you notice this cadence sounds like tonic, right? Everything's fine. Clearly, these two notes and this, we have a little suspension here. What do we have here? A, C sharp, because of the key signature. A, E, A. This is A major. So somehow in these 3 bars right here, we went from D major to A major, and you might not have even noticed it, right? It was a sneaky little modulation that happened there. See if you can hear it again. We're starting off in D major, we're ending in A major. So what did he do? How did he do that? How did he pull that little sneaky little trick on us? Leave it to Mozart to do a sneaky little trick. Well, let's analyze it. Okay, so we're in D major. So whenever we're working with modulations, I can't remember if we did this in the last class or not. We start off with, we always say what key we're in with the key colon, right? So D. We're in the key of D major here. If we were in the key of D minor, I'd do that. Okay? So we're in the key of D major. That's how I'm analyzing this. And that's going to become important as we do modulations because we might be changing keys a lot, which we will. Okay, so let's call this. Let's call this a 1 because it very clearly is. We have D, all D, and then what about here? So we have D, B, F sharp, B. That does make a triad of with a root of B. B, D, F. Does that make sense up here? Yeah. F sharp, D, F sharp. Sorry, I should have said F sharp a second ago. So B, B, D, F sharp. What is that? Let's just write out all our chords really quick in the key of D here. So let's say D, then we have D minor. Let's, I guess, be consistent here. D, or oops, D major, E minor, F sharp minor, G major, A major, B minor, C sharp, dim. Okay, there's all our chords. So with the root of B, we have B minor, that's a 6 chord. Okay, that's totally cool. 6. Okay, now let's go here. So same thing, we're just looking at D major, nothing funny here. We do see this accidental here though, which tells us something strange is about to happen. But let's see. So we have E, B, G sharp, that says E major. B, D, B, D. So E, B, G sharp, B is in both chords. D, natural, is also in here. That makes E, G sharp, B, D. That is a big ol' 7th chord as a dominant chord. Okay, but that's on E, right? our big dominant chord is going to be, it's always the 5, right? So that's going to be on A. So this is not in key, which we knew because we see this G sharp here. But what this really is a 2-7 chord. Okay, so I'm going to put this in parentheses because it's out of key. So that doesn't make really any sense. It could just be an out of key 2-7 chord, but unlikely. It could be a 5 chord, right? That would make sense. Or what would it be? It would be a 5 chord is what it would be. So 5 chord doesn't make a ton of sense here either. But let's go on to the next chord and see what's happening here. See if this gives us a clue as to anything else. So we have a G, B, or sorry, D, G, D, B. So G, B, D is a G triad. Another D, B, G sharp. Oh, still G sharp. I forgot. So G sharp, B, D. B, G sharp. So G sharp makes sense. Is there a 7th here? G, B, D, F sharp. Here's an F sharp. So it's quick though. So probably not calling that a 7th because it's on a weak beat. So we have a G sharp. What would that be? G sharp to B is a minor third. B to D is a minor third. That is a diminished chord. So we have a G sharp diminished chord. So we don't even have a G sharp in our key. So what we would call that, if we had to call it something in the key of D, we would call it a sharped 4 diminished. And that makes very, very little sense, right? This means the root isn't even in the key. So we're clearly not in the same key anymore, okay? Once you have 2 chords out of key and one of them is super out of key, then you start to say, wait a minute, I'm not in the right key anymore. So 1, 6, 2, 7, maybe we're still in key. Sharped 4 diminished, no, we've switched. So now is when you say, I think I missed a boat here, and we may have pivoted out of this key somewhere else if one of these could be considered a pivot. Okay? Let's go to a new video and see if we can figure out where the pivot was.